In a world covered in darkness, the light has finally arrived. Our mission is to heal. Here to help
is transcending ascension.
Hello and welcome. Today at Spirit School, we will be learning about the ego. Have you ever heard the ancient proverb, "You cannot fill a cup that is already full"? It is as relevant today as it was the day it was originally thought up. Do you know what is filling up that cup? Your ego. Your ego is your conscious mind. It is the one behind the driver's seat most, if not all of the time. It is who you are in your active life, who you think you are. To have a spiritual awakening, you must have an ego death. You will probably have many minor and major ego deaths along the way. To get started with rooting out your sense of self, you need to start watching everything you say and do and questioning it. The ego loves to just be the one in control. If you ever get that feeling, wait, what was I talking about? Or why did I say that? Or why did the convo go this way? It's because your ego completely took over. When you find yourself talking out your butt, you are in a pure ego takeover. You want to talk from your soul as much as possible. The issue is the soul doesn't necessarily talk, it's a feeling. So it's up to you to take it slow. Feel the waves. Feel the authenticity of what you are saying. The ego is what needs to do the talking. The ego controls most of your conscious self, but it can learn. It loves to go off the rails with reasons why it is the best or the worst, which is another ego trap. Either way, it loves to inflate its own importance. It's up to the more soulful, conscious part of you to start reining that ego in, to start feeling what you're saying as your truth. The ego will try to shut down your progression as much as possible, especially in the beginning. Ego deaths are a constant thing during a spiritual progressive awakening. As you continue to give it shakes and change the way you view reality, but eventually it will get used to your new reality. But even with that, it can still get stuck and needs to be shaken every time you want to integrate a new way of being. The ego thinks you're the best or the worst, and it doesn't want that altered. It fears its own death. You will have to constantly be checking yourself and recalibrating. This is where staying humble, a future lesson, is going to be key. You need to get it through your head early that you are nothing special. However, in the big scheme of things, we are all divinely special, but not in the way our egos like to think. It doesn't matter if you can cook, sing, play an instrument, fix the computer, have abs, weigh 500 pounds. It's all irrelevant. We are all one. The quicker you start to implement this line of thinking into your waking life, the faster your spiritual revolution will go. Now, I'm sure that just hurt and offended most of you. That right there is a cry from your ego. So feel where that place of it came from. That was your ego. It is hard and it will be painful. You'll be consistently offended and triggered, thinking of or saying, yeah, but they did this, or yeah, well, my mom or my dad thinks. The ego will have many excuses. It is very good at saying whatever it needs to. Your ego will say and possibly do anything to retain supremacy, to be better than others, or worse. Its main objective, pre-awakening, is trying to just be the one in control, trying to tell yourself you are absolutely the worst is one thing to watch out for. It is one thing to keep your eye on and say, oh, I'm the worst climber, I'm the worst at strength, oh, I just suck. Is the same thing as you thinking you're the best. You are neither the best nor the worst, and even if you are, oh well, get over it and move on. Humble thyself. Again, saying something that blunt will trigger an ego. A truly humble person is someone whose ego is not in control. They can hear anything said about them or to them and it will not offend them. This will help you build up a stronger soul that can start telling your ego what to say. You could start talking from the soul, being true. Any cliche messages you might have heard about finding yourself are mistaken. The key to enlightenment is to forget all about yourself. Whoever you are now, if you're watching this and needing to learn about spiritual enlightenment, forget who you are. Some of it might survive. It doesn't matter. You need to surrender and let it go. The ego isn't like the shadow. It's easier to fix, yet harder at the same time. It will fight you hard. Try criticizing someone else and watch how the cat claws come out. Your ego will do the same thing to you. However, since one can't get that mad at themselves, what you'll probably end up feeling is a deep lump of thick depression, the dark night of the soul. It will hurt, and it will bring you every excuse in the book of why you shouldn't proceed, fueled by the shadow, but it's the ego that's really amping it out there. Today, we will just leave you with a mission to watch your ego closely. Listen to everything you say and feel inwardly, internally, to your inner spirit. It is giving you nods and approval or stabs of warning. It is giving you nudges forward or pushes back. Sometimes we don't want to listen to the internal redirecting. We think they are who we are. We think this projection that's been out there is who we are. It's not who we are. It's the canvas we've been given to work on. You know, oh, well, that's just me. I'm just quirky like that. People love my spunk. It's irrelevant what the outside world thinks of you. What matters is the direction your soul wants you to move. Start being okay with offending yourself. It will hurt. We'll learn some ways to move through that self-offense because it will hurt. It will be worth it though, and your ego will adjust to the new, improved, more soul-aligned way of being. Your more soul-aligned way of being in your truth. You have to realize this persona isn't real, and it's okay to use this persona, but you have to have it speak the truth of your soul. Don't let it speak the truth of the ego anymore. Speak the truth of the soul. It needs to be monitored. You can do it, and it will hurt. Goodbye for now.